All right, good morning everyone. Melissa here. Thanks for following my channel. To everybody who subscribed, I appreciate it. Yesterday I was at a food pantry. We have a food pantry here that is amazing. Absolutely amazing. All the churches pitch in and you get to do your groceries each week for free. For free. And they give you a ton of food. Ton. So, free groceries, right? Take them. I saw a woman on, I think it was TikTok or something, maybe YouTube, who said that steak was now like $19 or something a pound. Can you believe that? And then another woman who's like, no matter what I do, I can't get ahead. You know, the groceries are so high. Go to food pantries, ladies. So I was at a food pantry yesterday, and I wore these earrings, and someone was like, I got out of work early, by the way. Someone was like, I love your earrings. And I'm like, oh, thank you. And I'm like, I like your bracelet. And she goes, here, you can have it. And I go, you don't have to give it to me. And she's like, no, I want to. I make jewelry. And so she was very kind, and we had a little bit of a conversation. Um, Woman supporting other women. Everywhere you go, guys, we should be helping each other. So I did pick up a check yesterday from where I was working, and I kind of laid it out for the boss before I left. I mean, there might have been some very confrontational things he didn't want to hear, but I laid it out. And when I had gone to him, I had said, hey, this is what's going on with this woman. At the very, very beginning, you know, she had set the tone I had talked about, and that's not leadership. And I came out with it, right? And so he goes, well, I like that she likes to get the point across. And I'm thinking, he doesn't know what I'm talking about. He doesn't have too many monkeys on his back, which is okay, right? He's not up front, so he can't see what's going on. And so I was pretty firm, and I thought, well, maybe I just got my point across, right? So I picked up my check, and he's like, I hope the best for you. And I said, there's nothing personal. It's nothing personal. So I can clearly see I was not meant to work on under that kind of leadership where a woman takes a fit. You know, that's not leadership. Why isn't the sauce in the bag with whoever forgot the sauce, right? Or why this or why that? And she can't take the time of day to, say hello as a leader. That's not the kind you want. So anyways, I was talking to my SCORE mentor and about my business. And right now, guys, my business is just back to the drawing board. Back to the drawing board. So many businesses fail. So many fail. And as I talk to him, he's been giving me a lot of wisdom. Which battles to pick, which ones not. Just an amazing SCORE mentor. Amazing. And, so right now I'm back to planning. I'm back at looking at everything. And so many businesses are not surviving here in Colorado. So I need to take the time to plan again and see what I want to do. But right now I am busy with a career. I didn't really study much yesterday too hard because I'm like, I was a little bit, what's the word, presumptuous with the test. I did on my second try get an 80. You need an 85. So I have to study again. And this stuff is much more complex than I thought it was. So that's what I'm working on. I know I'll pass, and I'll work at it until I do. But I'm working on a career now. Just the solid work every day. So many people, unless they have a big savings, it is hard to get a business going. Unless you have a lot of support, it's still hard to get a business going. So I'm reaching out to another organization for support. They had problems with their website like all year, so I couldn't get a response from them for a while, so I'm working on that. Working on helping women with abortion, heal from abortion, and then just reaching out, guys, to the poor and needy. I was on the road yesterday, and this guy was holding up a sign, and I do a lot from my van. You know, I have a lot of food pantry food in my van that I don't even eat. So, and my family won't eat it. So, you know, I'll hand out food. If I've got a couple bucks, I will hand that out. I'm not like, geez, does this person do drugs? Geez, I'm not going to help them because they do drugs. If they do drugs, they need even more help, right, guys? And people are like, oh, well, you know, they might spend money on the drugs. Well, they also might get some food, they might get a drink, they might get other things too. So, when someone's out there in the cold, guys, you know, I've given warm stuff to people. Give what you can, guys, and it's not a matter of well, let me see if my budget has it or not. When you see a need, meet it, guys. And like I said, I've seen churches just string people along and they're like, well, let us think about whether we can help or not. Well, I'm not sure if we can help or not. You know, 2.5 weeks go by. Well, I'm not sure. You know, if there's no commitment to you, what does that say, right? There should be a commitment to God. And if people use you, let them use you. Jesus said that, right? Let them use you. So, show kindness to people, guys. Show kindness. And I think of so many times in the Bible when people were mean and God turns it around and lifts up the one who fears him. Like the story of Joseph. You know, many of us Christians are going through our Bible now, and, you know, his brothers meant to harm him. They meant to sell him, to kill him, to leave him for the lions to eat him, and God lifted him up. This was his own brothers, right? His own family did this to him. So we look, you know, it's important. I believe it's in Nehemiah. He helps rebuild the city. We need people who are willing to do the work, guys, and willing to help people at a great level. Not a lot of money, but consistency, faithfully, all the time. Little things go a long way. We need people who are able to help other people faithfully. So, so I am busy now with my career, so I will not be doing my nonprofit yet. I've got to look at some more stuff. So my focus right now is on me, and then as I move ahead a little bit more, I have to plan some more stuff with my nonprofit. So I've got all these things going on, and it's important, ladies, to still stay grounded in who you are. So that's what I got. And guys, Proverbs 31 woman, she is kind, okay? Kindness is not calling something out. It's not saying, hey, like my in-laws, my former in-laws, my husband who just threw me under the bus, they can't even take care of their own flesh and blood. They didn't want to take care of anybody really when the boys were growing up. They were just all about themselves and getting their own needs met and, you know, looking good to the public. And there is nothing wrong with calling something out and saying, you are not living right. Not only have you offended God with your, you know, public display of contempt for God. You know, Carrie, Ben's sister, would have like a bumper sticker talking about, you know, her insults toward God. Not only the public display of hating God and not wanting to honor him, but wanting you yourself to be honored. It just doesn't work that way. So there's nothing wrong with calling people out and say, you know, you're selfish. You're selfish. All you care about is yourself. And I hope you change. I hope your ways change. And to put, you know, a whole family under the bus for what? Money? For what? You know, for your own issues. I grew up, guys, in a small town, married my husband, had no idea what his family was like. No idea until you get in there and then you start seeing the way they are, and you've got to call it out. And it's not a lack of love, because there's still love there, but it is actually kind to say to people, the way you lie about me, the way you have characterized me, the way you have attacked me is not acceptable. So you have to have a backbone, ladies, and be around people that treat you well. So if you're at a job and you got a manager who can't treat you well, the job doesn't justify the disrespect. Call it out, guys. So that's what I got for now. Proverbs 31 woman is our ideal model in the Bible of what a good woman looks like. So we want to study scripture and we want to look at that, ladies. So that's what I got for now. Thanks for joining me, guys.